time.
Yeah, Mark.
Congratulations on the result against Arsenal. I guess your job now as the manager is to make sure everyone's feet are firmly on the ground as you look to the last phase of the season.
Yeah, the feet on the ground. We always had the feet on the ground. I was really pleased, and we were really pleased with the performance against Arsenal. But the challenge for us is to find this kind of consistency that we've been talking about. Is try to repeat those kind of games and those try of performance.
At the moment, Crystal Palace are ninth in the Premier League. It would be almost mathematically impossible for you to get to eighth, so you sit kind of top of the best of the rest. How do you keep the hunger there for the players? You're currently in ninth. You can only really finish in ninth this season. How do you keep the levels as high as you want them for the rest of the season?
We can finish below the ninth position, and our aim is always to progress individually and collectively, and we have to finish as high as we can, and we have to look at our performances game after game, and it's about progressing as a team. There's still a lot of department of the games that we need to improve. There's a lot of things that the details on our game that we want to improve, so there will be hard work and concentration from the players until the end of the season, and I don't have any doubt on that.
What's the team news ahead of the weekend?
Everybody feeling good. We just had Nathan who had a step back. Outside of Nathan, everybody should be training tomorrow.
And what are your thoughts ahead of the game at the weekend? Because clearly a big challenge.
Yeah, big challenge, and we prepare ourselves really well. It was a good week of training, and again we will have to try to play as best as we can, and try to improve those kind of details that I was talking about earlier.
And just two final points from me actually. You've got so many good, young, exciting, promising players at Crystal Palace, and we've seen that over the course of this season. Have you had a conversation with Dougie and the owners to sort of say, well, we need to keep this group together, we need to build on this group, we need to add to it? Have you had those conversations?
No, we don't have those kind of conversation yet. Well, our main focus is to finish the season well. We will have time to build or to talk about what we need to improve. But again, we have those young players, and the plan is, of course, for them to stay as long as we can in the football club. They are part of the football club, and we want to build something here. So we will always try to improve the squad, improve the team, but those young players who are here with us, they will stay with us. They have a big potential. We know what they are capable of doing, but as well, they still need to work and to improve, because they still have some stuff that they are missing in the game.
My final point, this weekend, huge game in the Premier League, Liverpool against Manchester City. You played in these big games where you could call it title defining. It will certainly be significant for the outcome of the Premier League title. What would your memories be of those big matches, and what would your advice be to the players that go into this match about how to deal with the pressure and the situation?
I don't have any advice to give. I would be just like all of you, sitting in front of the TV and enjoy the game of football. And of course, it's going to be there's a tie between these two football clubs, and that make the league and make the game that we all love really exciting. And I'm just like you, we'll be watching it.
Jamie Carragher said this rivalry between Manchester City and Liverpool is the best the Premier League has ever seen. I guess perhaps your rivalry with Manchester United, you'd say, was probably the best. Would you disagree with Jamie?
I let people make their comment and stay with those comments, and that is his opinion, and I have nothing to say about that. I think that's it. That kind of rivalry is really good for the game, and you guys, and I think everybody who loves the game, are really exciting about that game, and this is what we want to see. So that's really good for the Premier League.
Thank you.
Thank you. Roger from PLP.
Hi Patrick. You mentioned earlier about Mark was asking you about finishing ninth in the table, and you said you could still end up finishing below ninth. I mean, you're level with Leicester at the moment. Is that an incentive there? You're looking at a team that's been challenging right at the top of the table for the last few seasons. you've got a chance of finishing above them. Do you use that as an incentive for the players as well?
I think this is the excitement that and the kind of pressure that we want to put in our shoulder. We want to be higher in the league, and to be higher, you will need to win or to do a really good result against Leicester. But it's not just about the game. It's about the result is important because that will help us to be more comfortable in the league. But it's about the performances as well. About how do we want to play and to challenge the players, because what we want is to progress game after game. And of course, the game that we play against Arsenal was positive, but there's still some aspect of the game that we need to improve, and this is as well one of our target is to be better as a team, and for players, individual players, to improve themselves as well.
What aspects specifically need to improve? Because people will look at that result against Arsenal and say it's absolutely fantastic. But I saw some of your quotes afterwards where you said it was a great result, but not necessarily the best performance of the season. So what do you need to improve?
You're looking at how do we manage the game, and of course, until we scored that third goal, it was quite really good. After is about how did we manage the last 20 minutes. I think we could do a little bit better and conceded less chances. I think Arsenal had a couple of chances in the last 20 minutes, and that's part of playing well and to be really demanding on the players. I was really satisfied with the performance and I was really happy. But yes, we want to improve. We want to be more consistent game after game, but we want to be more consistent from the first to the last minutes as well. And of course, that will come with time and with experience. But that is something that I will want the teams to improve.
You drew with Leicester earlier in the season. You're level on points in the league. So it's fair to say you're evenly matched. Where can you find an edge, do you think, in this match?
Well, it's about game managing and, of course, taking chances when we create those opportunities. And we will want to play as well as we did against Arsenal, away from home, and dominate the game as much as we can. But we're going to face a really good team with some individual talent, and that will be a really good test for us. But overall, it's about, yes, in the last couple of weeks, we've been having a good result. We've been playing quite really well. But the challenge for us is to be consistent in those kind of performances. And that's why the pressure will be there.
I know everyone always says in football you take each game as it comes, but you have got a huge game coming up next weekend as well. Does that come into your thinking at all, an FA Cup semi-final? And if not your thinking, is it in the players' minds?
No, it's not in my thinking, and it's not in the players' thinking. And that will not going to have an impact on the starting 11 that are going to choose. The game is... We have time to think about the FA Cup. The main focus is about Leicester and about putting the best squad to win the game.
You've been in this situation as a player and a manager where there is a big game on the horizon, and everyone says, "Oh, I'm only focusing on this next one." But when you were a player, were you able to do that? To not think about an FA Cup semi-final following the game?
Yeah, I think we just try to find the best way to prepare the game, and to prepare the game is to perform well, to play well, and of course, if you manage to win the game, that will give you more confidence. But nothing will change. We are really excited about this semi-final, but we will have time to think about it and to prepare ourselves well after the Leicester game.
Just finally from me, it's on your team. There's a lot of talk, as there always is, about Wilfried Zaha and what happens to him in the future of contracts and so on. But rather than talking about his contract, just in the past people have always talked about how important he is, and Palace don't win when Wilfried's not there and so on. Do you feel this season that this is a team that you look at and think it's not so reliant on Wilfried? He's still a key man, but you look around the team that they will find ways to win even when he's not around.
But that is the strength of a squad, and a team is to count on the ability of the squad to get the result. But of course, Wilfried is a massive, important player for us, and we are more stronger when Wilfried is on the team. And you're looking at every team in the league, you have a player that can make a difference, and Wilfried is one of them for us. And I'm glad that he's playing well, and he's creating chances, and he's scoring goals, and he's in a really good period at the moment.
Thank you. Alex from BBC Sport.
Hi Patrick, just to follow on from the Wolf questions, there was a really good performance from him last time out. How do you keep him at that level for the games coming up?
Is to challenge him. There is a lot more he can do for the team. He's working hard, he's creating chances, he's scoring goals. I'm really happy with his performances at the moment, and again the challenge is the same for him than the rest of the players, is to maintain those kind of performances.
And this is the game before the big game, the FA Cup semi-final. You sometimes see teams drop off. Do you have to do anything special this week to keep the focus on?
No, nothing. We do our normal meeting. We had our same kind of training programs, and the attitude's been really good. We know what we want to achieve. We want to finish the season well. We will have an exciting games to play against Chelsea, but the Leicester game is important for us. We want to build on what we've been doing in the last couple of weeks, couple of months, and we want to keep that kind of performances and that kind of result, because it's taken more time to build what we've been doing in the last couple of weeks, couple of months, than to lose it. So we know the data and the ingredients that we need to provide every week, every day in training to allow ourselves to be more competitive.
And with that, you're 7 unbeaten in total, 5 in the Premier League. Because everything is so positive at the moment, is it hard to find things to work on to improve? Do you have to? No.
We can find a lot of things that we still need to improve individually with the players and collectively as a team. I think we can create more chances. The balance of the teams can be better, and of course the way we manage games can be better as well. I think we show a lot of progress. But there's still a big step for the teams to improve.
Just asking whether you'd seen that UEFA potentially speaking about keeping 2 places back for teams who have a history in Europe. Do you have any thoughts on that?
About history in Europe?
Yes. If Palace were to qualify, potentially be 2 less spaces because UEFA would keep places back for those who've had history in the competition.
I believe that will kill the game, to be honest with you. I think, European competition has to be given to teams by merits and by what they achieve during the season. And if you start to give places to teams because of the history, I think better going to the Super League.
And just finally, just to pick up on Nathan Ferguson, is it a new injury or something he's had before? Is a new one. Is really disappointed because Nathan's been working quite hard and to get back, and he's just a step back, so he will come back hopefully really soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. That concludes the broadcast section. So we'll now